Victoria's Secret, and welcome to Green Goals. If you have kids, you probably have a bunch of broken crayons at your house, like I do, or ones that have just been used, ones that look like this. What you may not know, though, is that these crayons can actually have a big impact on God's creation, our beautiful planet. Before I get into that, though, I want to read you a quote from Laudato Si. This is from paragraph 211. There is nobility in the duty to care for creation through little daily actions, and it is wonderful how education can bring about real changes in lifestyle. Daily actions, we have hundreds of them, but we can actually turn them into acts of love. And one way we can do that is through recycling crayons. So there's about 60 million crayons thrown out in the US every year. That stat comes from the National Crayon Recycle Program. And that's a nonprofit that takes old crayons like these and turns them into new ones and then donates those to kids in need or sells them. Now, most crayons, like the ones that I have here, are made from paraffin wax, so it doesn't biodegrade well. That means it could take decades or thousands of years to break down just one crayon into waxy particles. So the good thing is we do have recycling options here. One is called the Crayon Initiative, and this program collects, melts, and then repurposes new crayons. They then give those crayons to children's hospitals, schools, and shelters. And you can learn more about how to donate to them at thecrayoninitiative.org. Another option, I just mentioned the National Recycle Crayon Program. So with them, you can send used, broken, new crayons, and then they will melt and mold them into new crayons. So what's nice too is that they will also take the wrappers and then they actually sell these wrappers as fire starters. So even that part of it doesn't go to waste. You don't have to sort by color, but it is helpful, and that can actually be a fun activity that you can do with the kids. Now, something that National Recycle Crayon Program does a little bit different than the Crayon Initiative is they also sell the crayons that they make. And they do that through their sister website called crazycrayons.com, where you can buy 100% recycled crayons. And what's cool is they turn them into different shapes like dinosaurs or stars. There's even one that's a globe. So it's pretty unique. But if you just want to donate, you can just go to nationalcrayonrecycleprogram.org. And just to note, with both of these programs, you do pay for shipping, and I encourage you to think of it as an act of generosity. Now, another part of this equation when we're looking at crayons is just to look at the materials in general. Now, I mentioned that typical crayons are made from paraffin wax, and that comes from petroleum, which is a fossil fuel. And we know from Laudato Si that Pope Francis is calling us to eliminate fossil fuels as quickly as possible. Before I get into an alternative, I also do want to say that even though paraffin wax crayons, it says non-toxic, this is meant for kids. So if they accidentally ingest something, it's not a big deal. But that doesn't mean it's non-toxic for the planet. And that's because when it breaks down, which, like I said earlier, takes a very long time, probably after all of us have died, they can contaminate soil and groundwater. So if we're not going to use these paraffin wax crayons, a better option are beeswax crayons. And these ones I have right here come from a company called Honey Sticks. They are biodegradable, and when they break down, which takes about a month to a year, the parts that it breaks down into are not harmful to the environment. Sometimes beeswax crayons are compostable too, so you want to check the box when you're buying them. Honey Sticks is not the only brand of beeswax crayons, so you can definitely do some research and find some other ones. But I just want you to reconsider tossing crayons in the trash. Remember that you can buy crayons that are 100% recycled from Crazy Crayons, or consider buying beeswax crayons, and just overall realizing that these beautiful little creations that we can make artwork with can also then be repurposed, reused, recycled, and we can just keep this circular economy going. All right, God bless. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed Green Goals, a segment where we look at ways that we can live out Pope Francis's call to care for our common home, inspired by his encyclical Laudato Si. And if you did enjoy it, please subscribe to Catholic TV's This Is the Day YouTube channel and click on the bell for notifications. Look for new episodes of Green Goals right here on Catholic TV's This Is the Day YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching.